club, you'll see where black athletes are not going to go. Now, there may be a few Negroes synonymous with niggers who will be entered in. But like I said, we'll see them when they cross the picket line. Come see a world-class athlete who holds 11 world records like Tommy Smith. That's my reaction to that. If we're good enough to get in and make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 on one track meet for the New York Athletic Club, then we should be good enough to do anything that the New York Athletic Club has to offer. I think that any black athlete who does cross this picket line could find himself in trouble, and I will not be personally responsible, nor will any member of this committee be responsible for any kind of act that happens. I think the responsibility lies at the door of a racist society and a racist New York Athletic Club and any racist who goes to that meet.
Excuse me, if you have any...
A number of legal actions against the New York AC, we are whitelisting immediately an entire list of sports organizations and universities and colleges due to their racist policies and the fact that they are participating and perpetuating racism by competing in a New York Athletic Club meet. And third, we are going to throw a picket line around a New York Athletic Club meet, and it is our sincere hope that no one will cross the picket line and the New York AC meet will be shut down altogether. Oh, we've contacted a number of athletes. And if you look at the entries at the New York Athletic racism in this society, if George Wallace wanted to get on the picket line, he's more than welcome.
How do you plan to persuade...
Excuse me, Mr.
Professor Edwards, I'm curious to know what you mean by Negro and black athletes. What's the difference?
I mean that anytime that you have someone else defining concepts for you in the way that you define yourself, then you're in big trouble because this person has control of your mind. In the same sense that you may have an animal that's a pet to you, but I said it's a pig. It could be the same animal. The white man looks at the Negro, you see, in the same sense as a pig, as something less than human. And we simply refuse to define ourselves in this way because we consider ourselves to be men and human beings, and we're going to be treated as such.
How do you plan to persuade reluctant athletes that should join the boycott?
Why don't we wait and see? I have...
After the New York Athletic Club event, do you have further events that you're going to boycott before the Olympics? Do you know?
We're going to put out we're going to whitelist a whole bunch of athletes, a whole bunch of athletic events, a whole bunch of athletic clubs and colleges and universities, and see to it that they never get another black athlete so long as the racist structure is maintained in those colleges and universities, especially the University of California with Pete Newell as head of the athletic department. We are going to move on in some of these directions.
Professor Edwards, have you contacted anybody from the police force as far as delineating specific areas in which they want to...
Do you mind identifying yourself, sir?
Paul Zimmerman from the New York Post.
No, we're here to picket the new Madison Square Garden, and if I were coming in town to rob a bank or something like this, maybe it would be necessary for me to contact the police department or something like that. But we're here to picket, and we're here to picket. That's all. Nothing more.
Excuse me. Last week at the USO show, there were pickets, and they were given an assigned space which was pretty far removed from the main entrance. Have you heard of anything like that? Some space that they want you to picket in?
Well, we're picketing. We're going to picket the Madison Square Garden, not the toilet across the street. If we were going to picket the toilet across the street, that's where we would be. We're going to picket the Madison Square Garden.
Excuse me, here's a question here.
Ed Kane, ABC News.
It's a private club, and that it can admit anyone that it wants, and that its events, its sporting events, are completely integrated, and that black athletes use the facilities and are allowed into the club, etc. It's just that they reserve the membership track meet, holding your own competition in any way?
I think that if black athletes wanted to hold their own competition in any way, I would be the first to endorse a black movement for black athletes to organize themselves in any way whatsoever.
Excuse me for 1 second, and I have a question over here. Harry, would you please identify yourself for the camera's purpose? Where are you from and who are you?
I'm Professor Harry Edwards from San Jose State College, San Jose, California.
All right, we have a question over here for Mr. Rat Brown.
Brunton, News Radio 88. I think you mentioned something about blowing up Madison Square Garden. I just wanted to get this straight.
Yeah, that's right.
Step up.
Could I hear what your advice was along those lines?
Yeah, I think that it should either be burnt down or blown up. You see, I don't think that black lives are worth, that garden, are worth picketing, and I'm sure Americans, white Americans like yourself, the good honkies, are going to come out there and, and try to break the picket line, because America's attitude toward black people now is that of a vigilante. They see it as their duties, thanks to Lynch and Johnson and Bobby Kennedy and other white honkies. So we say that, it's not worth it. If you don't want them to participate, burn Madison Square Garden down.
I'd like to ask Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, could you tell us what you intend to do? Will you be there tomorrow in the picket line?
Will you be in the picket line?
I'm asking you.
And I'm asking you. Are you going to be there tomorrow?
Well, I'm a reporter. I'll be covering the
Well,
story.
I'm Rap Brown.
Will you be there? I'm a reporter. My job is to report the news. You have a different function. Will you be there tomorrow?
Come out and see. Join the picket line. If it was, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to avenge something? Be for real. We might take the Pueblo.
Do you have any questions you want to direct to anyone else? Anyone?
Mr. Edwards, just one question, one final question.
Yes, sir.
CBS.
Step forward.
Mr. Edwards, some of the Negro athletes that I talked to, and I'm not saying that I talked to all black athletes, I should say, not all of them that I talked to, but some of them said that they have nothing against the Olympics, that you're going to have trouble mounting this kind of a boycott against the Olympics. They may have something against the New York AC, but not the Olympics.
Well, you had a whole lot of house niggas say they didn't have anything against the old master, but you didn't see none of them staying at home when that racist Lincoln let them go. A few crawled back on the plantation, but most of them left. I think it's just a matter of educating people. And I think that this is part of it. A boycott of the New York AC meet is part of an educational program to accustom black athletes to thinking politically. Because up until this time, black athletes have thought in terms of jock straps and gold medals and sneakers and nothing else. So I think that after they see that they can boycott effectively and that they can have some effect, not as athletes, but as men, I think that many of them, with some of the other moves which we have planned, some of the other strategies which we have planned, will begin to see that there are things more important than the gold medals for a racist society.
What percentage of athletes do you think will boycott the Olympics?
Wait and find out.
Mr. Edwards, you said that there are other countries that are racist. Do you see this developing into an international movement? For instance, are you contacting the African countries?
I would like to see it develop into the biggest movement possible to rid this whole earth of racism, because I think there's enough. I think there's enough of it around to boycott damn near every event that white folks are involved in.
But do you think the African nations specifically will join your boycott? Is the question.
We'll find out.
You haven't contacted them.
I've had contact with some.
What's their response? What's their reaction?
We'll discuss this when time is appropriate.
Any estimate of how many pickets there will be there tomorrow night?
No. I think there'll be enough to get the job done.
What's the job?
Picket the New York AC.
Mr. Edwards, is your basic aim to shut down the games, to prevent the games from
Our
going
basic
on
aim
tomorrow?
is to show that there are the black people of this society are concerned with the exploitation of black people wherever it may occur, and that the black people, not just the athletes, but the black people demand that black individuals not allow themselves to be exploited and used and set up on a totem, up on a pedestal, as the one dog with a little meat on the bone, while you have a million others who are eating their food off the ground. That we are sick and tired of being treated as subhumans, that we're men and human beings, and we're going to be treated as such.
But in your statement, you say the meet will be shut down altogether.
I would like to see it shut down.
Is that your aim?
I would like
tomorrow,
to see it
take
shut
it-
down. There's nothing I would like better than to see nobody cross the picket line and the whole thing be shut down completely.
We have time only for about 2 more questions. Is there anyone who has not asked a question who would like to do so? Yes, sir.
Robert
Would you?
Lipsyte, the New York Times. Have you been in contact at all with the group of Soviet athletes that are scheduled to perform Friday night?
In what regard?
Well, as to not coming to the meet.
Well, I think the
So
best
I
thing
don't
to do is to
think
wait and see what the Russians do when they come to the meet.
Well, have you been in touch with them?
But why do you ask that question?
Yeah, that's.
Mr. Lipsy, why do you ask that question to the Russians? What about the British or the French or the...
Because the Russians are in this meet. There are 7 Russian athletes.
Are the French people in the meet?
There are 7 Russian athletes in the meet.
Anybody else, though?
Are there
Any other foreigners? No other foreigners?
Not in such a block.
No other.
Well, what about the Scandinavians that the AAU
Only
flew in here?
Only 2.
I think that was an unfair question. You're a news writer, so you're supposed to ask
You
that.
don't have to bicker over that shit, man.
Is there anybody else who has not asked the question who would like to do so? Nobody else? All right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, if there's no further questions, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Excuse me. And if you want any 397. Oh.
Okay, I have a statement to read to you concerning the New York AC boycott. We're here to finalize the first step in a drive to realize a complete and total boycott of the Olympic Games by black athletes. The intransigence of the New York AC and its refusal to even admit the problem, much less take steps to rectify it, is, we believe, indicative of the present demeanor of white America toward making real steps to deal with racism in this society. We see through this protest that it isn't just racist individuals, who those of us who sincerely want solutions are up against. It's a racist conspiracy involving many would-be great institutions in this society. In this case, we're confronted not only with a racist New York Athletic Club, but also a racist conspiracy involving the AAU and the directors, the supervisors, and the owners of Madison Square Garden. The AAU has paid, partially or in total, for the transportation, aid, and other expenses of foreign athletes in an effort to break this protest. The AAU has given its approval to this meet and has given its approval to all past meets, even though it has been well known for years that the New York Athletic Club was a white racist organization. The supervisors of Madison Square Garden have allowed the New York AC to hold its racist functions in the facility for years, and thus has perpetuated a racist function in this society. We are taking a number of steps on our own to rectify this situation. Clarify some of the points which it seems have been clouded by the white press and also by a number of individuals who have inferred, at least, that if South Africa and Southern Rhodesia are eliminated from the Olympic Games, that black athletes will compete. I think that this statement should clarify that. And here again, we will start with reference to the New York AC meet. We will boycott the New York Athletic Club meet at the new Madison Square Garden this Friday, February the 16th, for the same fundamental reason that we will boycott the 1968 Olympic Games, because of the racism which is shown not only in the Games, but in many countries participating, most notably the United States of America. The boycott was mandated by the Newark Black Power Conference in 1967 precisely because of racism and not because of Southern Rhodesia and South Africa. We deplored the use of black Americans in the New York AC meet for the same fundamental reasons that we deplored the exploitation of black Americans in the Olympic Games and also in Vietnam. Because these black Americans are being used to further the racist attitudes of the USA with no regard to the desires or needs of black people right here in this country. We believe that the time has come for black Americans and all others who are horrified by the blood which is spilled in the name of democracy to withdraw from public events associated with furthering the racist aims and notions of this country. It is common knowledge that the New York Athletic Club has racist exclusivism as part of its policy. It is unthinkable that any black athlete should participate in any way in this track meets. Any participation would be tantamount to agreeing with an Anglo-Saxon only policy. For the U.S. to espouse fighting for democracy in Vietnam, and yet to allow the New York Athletic Club to perpetuate racism, and even further than that, to conspire with the New York Athletic Club to perpetuate racism, is the same double talk which caused the death of 3 black students in Orangeburg, South Carolina, as they were operating under a so-called civil rights law. We are calling on all black people to come to Madison Square Garden tomorrow evening, Friday, February 16th, 1968, at 5:30 p.m. to protest the use of this facility by the New York AC. which has clearly shown that it has no regard for black Americans except to exploit their talents. We see a great tie between the thing that happened to the brothers down at South Carolina State College and this New York AC meet. And we are going to try, to the best of our ability, to see that we have an orderly demonstration. But in light of the fact that we have black people being shot down the street, again in an incident involving games and protests against human injustice, a bowling alley, and black students trying to obtain what were their legal rights.
Direct them to me, and I will direct them to whomever you wish.
From Pappas of CBS.
Yes, sir.
Asking Mr. Edwards whether there will be an attempt to stop athletes from entering, physically stop them.
We're going to picket the New York AC meet.
But you said just a minute ago that you can't be responsible for anything that might happen beyond that.
We're going to picket the New York AC meet.
Are there members in your group that are willing to stop them physically?
We're going to picket the New York AC meet.
Mr. Edwards, what groups are going to join your boycott or your picketing down there? Could you tell us
There are a
that?
number of groups. There are groups from colleges, universities. There will be both all individuals who are sincerely concerned about racism in this society and about racism in the supposed citadel of racial harmony called the athletic world will be there. There'll be Jews, blacks, whites, everyone who's concerned. College students, there'll be brothers and sisters from Harlem, all over.
Any name athletes?
Excuse me, sir. Before you ask any further.
To substitute for our national director, Mr. Floyd B. McKissick, who has a very heavy speaking tour this weekend. I have come here to pledge.
As an organization, SNCC, endorse and support all liberation struggles and all struggles to the end of liberation, with liberation as an end. Now, in terms of the massacre that occurred at Orangeburg and its connection with this, my position in Orangeburg was that 3 lives are too much to pay for any damn bowling alley. My position up here is that black people, if they intend to picket, should be prepared for whatever occurs. Because personally, I feel if you don't want them to run, you should blow Madison Square Garden up.
Labor relations in this country and the fulfillment of freedom as far as the labor movement is concerned has been attained through the picket lines. And quite frequently, labor movements and labor unions have resorted to violence in order to justify their demands. And the whole history of the labor movement shows this. So that when black people are forced or pushed to the brink of violence, it is only because of the oppression of the largest society. So the picket line, which is initiated for peaceful ends and which has a nonviolent purpose to sustain the boycott of the athletic club, does not have violence as an end in itself, but if the violence does occur, it will be the result of acts of violence by other forces and not those who are picketing Madison Square Garden that evening.
Thank you. Mr. Ahmed,
So Black Power has its full support and full effort behind this boycott on Madison Square Garden. But more importantly, we're moving towards the Olympic boycott, which we will have, which we will drum up a lot of interest in, and which we have now. 50% of the athletes are in favor of the Olympic boycott.
we have one further
Chairman and the United
Well, if they reserve their membership for whites on, then when they advertise their meet, they should put up, not come and see a world champion, but come and see a white athlete. Come and see a white Christian athlete run a 10-minute mile or something like that. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to their information
about what's going on. I'd like for you to take down this phone number. 234